So from today, we are beginning our ISO journey, which is the most important journey which we discuss every time. So that's first of all, we'll go some with the basic idea why we are moving with that journey, some importance of that, then basic structure of ISO 222 messages, basic information about it, then some history of ISO 222 messages. Okay, and after that which messages we are migrating, and that's currently in migration phase. That messages we will look one by one. We will have some practical example as well when we are looking into that, how this messages form, what is the detailed structure of this, and some actual message from production itself, how the message look like. For example, this is the original message which is in the production. This is provided by Swift only, so no harm sharing to anyone. So how this is completely structured. By the way, these messages get open like this. That's why I close it to show you. And if you see, this message is in XML format. Okay, not like your empty message. Before going to the what is advantage of these messages, we'll just tell you something very high level thing. This message is in XML format. If you already know about how XML works, there is always opening tag. For example, this one, there's always opening tag and always a closing tag as well. Group folder. See, this one is closing. So when you open it, you have to close it. The backslash in, okay, if you are a development background, no problem. But if you don't have, this information can help you. This is the closing tag of that, and we have to close the tag after open it. So you can see like this. Okay, this message is divided into two parts, particularly rather than I can say three part. This first part is always a standard format for the particular bank which we are using this XML transformation. This is called header part. We're going to look everything one by one of these messages also. We have some use cases also for this, that when we are running with one payment from A to B, B to C, C to D, how this message is being passed, which which members are used in that, what is the format of the member. You can see UATR also here, the same UATR concept which is there in ISO 222, under which field it is coming. Okay, those detailed study we are going to do. What is instructing agent, what is instructed agent. Okay, all these things we are going to learn one by one, slowly, and we'll start for this with some basic information about how this message has been formed, um, and where you can find this message. I will walk you through the series, a small guide of 63 pages. This I will walk you through this one very fast, but I have one more guide which is around 800 pages in detail. That also I will take you through in a detailed way. Then when we are looking into this message, I'm just giving background first what we are covering. Then when we are walking through this, we are going to see the detailed structure of MT103 message, how it is formed. Although I showed you sometimes, but still we'll walk you through this one, that what is the content of this message. For example, I'm saying I will walk you through in detail one message, then the rest of the message are very much similar to this one. For example, how parents and child relationship is there with it, with the messages. For example, when I say creditor here, so how this is mandatory field creditor. So when creditor is there, what is the configuration of creditor, what is content, it contain name, the creditor contain name, postal address, identification, blah blah blah. There are so many things. So we are going to walk you through all these details thing. Then inside that, if you want to see the structure of postal address, because this is a parents and child relationship thing, again postal address. Then in postal address, if you want to see a detailed information about postal address, then you can have look, for example, address type also having the relation child relationship like code and propriety. So there are so many things for every field. So that's why it is more structural address, more informative XML messages, and you can see neat and clean the XML, which you can see just now what I show you is very neat and clean, because there is no code in that. Which field is that? For example, here we have to struggle in MT103 messages, that what is your field 20, what is the meaning of field 20. But here you can clearly say that it's message ID. The short form itself says that it's a message ID. Then what is the create date and time, instead of 32A, so that you can mention like 32A here. Okay, like that. So this is very much pretty understandable language, and anyone can understand when looking into the message itself. So those things we are going to see in detailed manner. First of all, we will start with the basic of what is ISO 222. That's, and by the way, why we introduce it, what is the need of it, okay, or ISO 220. So I will walk you through this 2 pages document first, the basic need of this, then slowly we will move ahead with the different criteria of the ISO 222. So we will take this very slowly, at least for pack set message that will take more than 3 or 4 sessions. Slowly we will go ahead this way. All right, so first of all, what is the need of this ISO 222? It it has, there is a data truncation happening in ISO 200, ISO 15022. That slides we have here. I'm going to cover, not here. Just now I showed you. Yeah, no, it's a deep dive. Oh, where I lost it? PDF. Not this one. Did I close it accidentally? Wait a minute. Yeah, this one. So there is too much detail in that. We are going to walk through this in detail and what fields are using, what is the structure of this message, everything we are covering here. But from beginning, what is the need of that and what is the advantage of this we'll see one by one in the first of all. So the major thing which I observe is that this is structural data. Okay, first of all, enhance and data richness and transparency. That is the main advantage of ISO 222. So how it is done? First of all, data richness, improve transparency, and those the reconciliation, everything, and those are mainly structure in this manner, detailedly mentioned here. First of all, it is enhance data richness and transparency. Just now I showed you some messages, the data you can see clearly, and there is a transparency where that what is the data mentioned, what is the name of that. Okay, so clearly understandable what is the significance of particular element. Okay, by the way, we are calling as an element now, not the tabs here in ISO 222. So it's a detailed structure, XML format, allowing for more detailed and accurate information to be included in payment message compared to the legacy format. Okay, so when I say legacy here, so legacy here they're mentioning as empty messages. So it is mentioned in a very structural manner. Each and every field clearly mentioned, the opening and closing bracket indicate that this place is code close, this is open, and the language which is mentioned in the XML is very understandable from the learning point of view and knowing point of view. So that's why this is a structural data. Increase the data fields. So when I says increase the data fields means here we saw in empty messages, whenever we saw the structure of it, only 16 characters was allowed to put into that in single line. So here this is no limitation for that. Sometime it can enter around 1000 as well, but how much the correct fields are there, that's mentioned in the CBPR guideline. We'll going to walk you through, but this is definitely more than 16 characters. Sometimes it's 1000 field also, character also you can introduce. So increase data fields, increase data elements. So earlier, okay, the second meaning of is the increase data field means in empty messages hardly you saw some 10-15 elements are there in block 4. The fields are there like 32A, 33B, 56, 57 like this. But when you're looking into ISO 222 messages, these fields are increased to 328 fields can introduce. These messages contain, not contain so many fields, but actually when this message is there, it is contain around 300 fields. Those all are not usable, but still for more and more granularity, more and more structured data shows, we can introduce, we can write down all these fields. So same thing is mentioned here. The format allows for a wider range of data elements, including structure, remittance information, party details, transaction purpose, leading to greater transparency and better information to all parties. Okay, so here there are only one intermediary agents are there in for example empty. So here maybe 2 3 4 5 those are intermediary agents, their data structure, their elements, their legacy elements, those are also included in your ISO 20022. We are going to see all these things in detailed manner, but just for understanding purpose, increasing data fields, so that's what I'm saying. So those data fields are increased here, like new elements also introduced here, like ultimate data and ultimate creditor. So those information is not there in empty messages, so those fields are also introduced in your ultimate data and ultimate creditor here. Okay, so this is the second advantage of increased data field here. Third one is improve reconciliation. So when I says improved reconciliation, the structure nature of the data field increases faster reconciliation of payment, reducing erroring and queries. Guys, give me only 5 minutes. Okay, there is a heavy rain here. I just want to close my everything doors and everything. Okay, just give me 5 minutes. In Pune, it's heavy raining. Just give me 5 minutes. Just a 1 minute, I'm joining. Just 1 minute. Hi. Sorry, there is heavy raining today suddenly, and everything is outside, so I have to take some inside. You guys are there, right? Y- Yeah, fine. So I was on the data fields. Okay. So what are the data fields? So when I say the data fields, I will just want to show you the data fields as well. So when I say data fields are like this. These are called the data fields, by the way. The message identifier, creation date, time, batch booking, number of transaction, control sum, all these are data fields only. So those are very less in numbers in empty messages. For example, this one, instructing agent, first instruction agent, third instruction agents. So those are very less in your MT103, and it is there in a good manner. I mean to say in detailed manner data fields. So those are the data fields of MT10 MT as compared to empty packset messages. So if you see here, the data fields having parent and child relationship in that particular period, particular years, data status, creditor status, record, sequence number. So many things are in a detailed manner here. So we have saw one message called MT199, like pre-format message, right? So such kind of message is not required at all here now. So everything we can put everything inside this only, so there is no separate requirement of such kind of messages. So some messages has been removed also from packset messages that we are going to see also in detail, like method, postal add remitter information, field 70, supplementary data type. There are so many things they have particularly added that nothing should have left out of sending customer from sending messages. Okay, so these are the main advantage of this packset messages for first of all. So we have discussed about increased data field. Then next is improved reconciliation. The structure nature of the data facilitates easier and faster reconciliation of payment, reducing the error in queries. So reconciliation when we are doing, right, that time we are reconciling the data and payment. So this MT103 machine has less data, so it get problem for reconciliation as we used to have don't have STP payments and correct data. Whenever message is sending, some data field is missing, for example address is line missing and which is not particularly mentioned in the particular field, like for example house number should be 5 we mentioned. So those things we are going to see in detailed manner coming. But when you are doing the improved reconciliation, right, ultimate debtor, ultimate creditor, reimbursement agent, these things are clearly mentioned everywhere. So when you are doing the data reconciliation, means the payment reconciliation, the amount reconciliation, that time those things are correctly mapped everywhere. So that's why saying improved reconciliation. Then enhance customer experience. Just now I show you, because everything we are neat and clean in the excel messages, so we can easily identify the message, which message is there, which fields are there. So that's why enhance customer experience. Richer data, financial institution can provide better customer services, such as providing more information about transaction and facilitating easier reconciliation, so which we saw in the xml. Improved efficiency and straight through flowing stp. So this is the second advantage of ISO20022. First one is enhanced data richness. Inside that there are so many things. And second is reduce manual intervention. because all payment is going to STP. All the details are in so much detail that manual intervention is not required. Payment, if it fall, there is less chances of payment fall into repairs and manually handle it if any exception happens. So there is less necessary. That's why saying reduce manual intervention. The structured data and standardized message format reduce the need for manual intervention in the payment process, leading to faster and more efficient process. Okay. Second is faster processing time. By enabling more accurate and complete information to be exchanged, ISO 200 supports the STP rates. So STP is straight through payment. Just now discussed. The details are so much in my manual details that it cannot stop payment somewhere for manual intervention, and it will be it will stop for manual intervention. That's why faster payment processing. Less time is required to process the payment. Reducing error. The data is so much standard in quality and very just lead to few error. Means each and every tabs are very much clearly mentioned elements, so it will give reduce errors. If errors also present there, then if errors are also there, then there is a standard format of error should be highlighted. I am going to show you in some time, not today, but if errors are there, how they are highlighted the errors also. That is a standard format of the error. Yeah, here for example. Okay, if currency code is not matching properly in the for example in your XML, if currency code is not for the ISO 4217, just I'm giving one example. There are so many in like consist of three digits contain something is not there proper, then it should throw this error only. Error handling as fatal, error code is this one, error text is invalid currency code. So this should have highlighted this kind of information only. So that also defined by your CBPR guidelines. So that's why I'm saying whenever some error is happen, that also can be highlighted properly. Then faster compliance. The compliance, the structured data enables faster and more accurate compliance check, including anti-money laundering, sanction screening, reducing risk of breaches. So this is one of the advantage of using backsmashes. Because why I'm saying this structural data issue here, I don't know why I'm keeping this slide every time. I want to show you that what is the meaning of this my sentence here. Um, Faster compliance and anti-money laundering things. Okay, I want to show you these things. What is meaning of this in structured data here? Okay, for example, this is your unstructured data. Okay, here, and this is also unstructured data, which is having name of the person. 50 means ordering customer here. He also ordering customer. His big account number, his name, address. Okay, it is a single line only. So sometimes what happened that when you are mentioning the address here, this is the address. Okay, and for example this person John Hector, for example John Hector, and this address is Joseph Smith. Okay, though the road is of Joseph Smith, for example the what I mean, okay, street name, this is the street name August Street, for example this one. Okay, so though if you find that in your payment direct in compliance AML things, this name is Hogostat mentioned as a terrorist activities, for example, in the world. So what happened that as soon as you saw this word Hogostrat in your AML and your OFAC everywhere, as soon as you saw this word anywhere in the MT103 message, the payment will stop, because he will not identify whether this word is coming into the address, is coming as the name or what. It will stop. But in any country, maybe this name of the person with Hogostrat, street name. So that payment will his payment will fall into the repair, and this has to be handled manually in MT103 cases. Okay. But in the same payment, if you are comparing on ISO 20022, the street name is specifically mentioned that okay, this is Hogostrat. So this is not a person. This is a street name. So we have the AML law, anti-money law person is not applicable for this here, because name is different here. So such a minute details are separately mentioned here. So AML will work very accurately in ISO 222 structure message. Okay. Anyways, we are going to learn these things when I come into this slide. But just now I thought to show you what exactly it is meaning of this word AML, right? How receiving the AML. So that's why I showed you. Then next is enhance interoperability and integration with other systems. So that also is because it's the common language. Now one by one, all the systems in the world are converting to ISO 220, all converted except the high value payments, which is from the from the network provider point of view, marketplaces point of view, like Fedwire, then your bags, chaps, those are still there. But apart from that, those are settling by interbank settlement system. Those are converted into ISO 222 messages. Then that's the language of common languages. Then next is flexibility. The format is flexible and it can accommodate different technical syntaxes, XML and JSON. So when you want to see in JSON or XML, JSON I'm not familiar with in lot. Okay, how the JSON messages look like, but XML I have worked very nicely, and this why they can easily integrate it with your ISO 222 message with other messages. So for integration purpose, is also very flexible. This is the third. Then global standard. I just now discussed it is a global standard accepted by all in the universe, so that can be used by all the countries in the world. The next advantage is that improved compliance and risk management. So enhanced data compliance, the richer data as to into message facilitate better compliance with the regulator requirements such as AML sanction and screening. So just now I show you example of how AML and sanction and screening can be in better, it can prevent the stopping of payment in a better way. So that just now I show you. Then reduce false positive. The structured data allows for more accurate and efficient risk checks, reducing false positive and improving accurate compliance processes. So when I says reduce false positive, just now I show you that data, right? The street name is street name is the not counted as a name. So that payment will not fall into exception and repair. So that is a reduce false positive for risk. Yes. Then streamline investigation. Structured data and standard message format facilitate faster and more efficient investigation of suspicious transaction. So you by the just transaction name, transaction data, I don't know in other transaction system, but when I studied GPP product, GPP, in that when any payment falls into the repair or in exception, the log generated is around sometimes 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh line code. Okay, log generated. So when you want to investigate where exactly your payment falls into the repair or investigation part, that time this ISO 200, you have to put the field names, and easily you can find out where your payment is falling into repair. So that is very streamlined method from actual example in the production point of view I'm saying. But this may be differ on the project basis or your payment engine basic. But the use the structured data properly, you can find out where his payment is lying failing. So it is streamline investigation of the payment. So there are so many advantages of this ISO 222 format of this one. And when we are actually looking into the message, that can be a more enhanced, we can see how that is applicable to it. So this is advantage. Now next one is what is the structure of this message. Okay, the structure of this message is basically a XML format. By the way, this ISO 222 has taken reference of SEPA messages. So SEPA messages already have the flavor of XML messages. The only difference is that it is having in both, it is the ISO 222 messages more in detail and granular formality as compared to the SEPA messages. SEPA messages are only simple XML messages, not in a richer data which are like ISO 222. So SEPA messages are parent of your ISO 222 messages. So when I say structure of this message, the structure contain XML syntax, okay, with business application header. The first part is called business application header, and the message we are going to see this. What is this business application header? If you want to see what is a business application header in our application, So this part is started from here till here. This is called business application header, which is a standard for every bank they have, and it is every bank has their own standard for this one. I mean to say the content of standard. For example, here this is approved by the organization called w3.org. This first header part, and his for this XML also has the same format, header.001.002. It remains constant throughout the process of this. This format is remains same, and this will use your for as we have discussed in block 5, right, in your empty message checksum. So this will help us to identify um, this message will help us encryption and decryption, so anyone cannot temper this message using the header block. So this is will help on that part. So anyway, we are going to see in detail how this message is formed, but I just want to show you that what is the header part. Header part is this one only, and this header part contain from here till here. You can see header is opening brackets are here and closing brackets are here till this part. This is the basic application header of this message. Okay, here the sender of the big, which is their instructing agent, it's the sender of the big here, sender, and here the receiver of the payment. So this we'll see in detail when we are looking, but in business application header all these fields are mentioned in neat and clean manner also. And message instance containing data elements, the data elements are here. Data element, these are all the data elements. Okay, interbank settlement amount, settlement date, charge bearer, instructing agent, instructed agent, these are called the data elements. With tags enabling structure and richer data exchange in financial communication. Here more detailed breakdown of the ISO200 message structure. So now after this there are so many fields. I just want to show you some fields, and rest of the fields we'll see when exactly when we are going through the messages of this one. So the first is business application header. The purpose: the business application provide consist and predictable way to convey about the message, such as sender, receiver, message identify and reference regarding the network use. So who is the sender of the payment, who is the receiver of the payment? When I want to compare this in ISO 222 messages, sorry, ISO 15022 messages, it is called sender big and receiver big. Okay, from your block 1 and block 2. So this can be identified from that point of view. So which is the sender big, which is the receiver big. By the way, this example contain 4 messages total. That's why only you can see only one big is here. So a metro bank sent taxometer to banks in Bura. This is actual use case. That's why I open the use case here, and this is example of use case. That only you can see only one big is here, but it contain 2 bigs here in header part. So I have another example here. Okay, header is not there in this example. Only credit to credit transfer information is there. Okay, that's why you cannot see the header part here. Anyway, I will when I will walk you through the document of this one, I will show you. There are total. Okay, just now I have opened this first one. Okay, this is the perfect example of header. So this is your header part. This is your sender big, for example, Nairobi somewhere. This is your receiver big. Okay, so it is in the header. Your block 1 and block 2s are present in the header itself here. Okay, so that's why you can identify this is your header here. This is a Paxo2 message, by the way. Anyway, only I want to show you the message, that's why I showed you. This is header and sender and receiver big, which is a Paxo, which is block 1 and block 2 messages are present here, like this here. Okay, do you have discussed till now here? Then structure of this message: the business application ISO 200 message definition, which is contain the header.001.001 cat can be combined with any ISO other messages definition to form a business message. So this message including this header can be form a business message. Okay, this is a business. But by the way, we the content of it, how it is structured, we have in coming slides of ISO 222. This is only just basic information. The data which is we are sending here, it is called sending organization, receiving organization, like sending or receiver big, message identity, reference of the message. So these things are mentioned there. Then example business applicator is header that can be form a part ISO 222 messages. And ISO 222 instance, in instance there is a purpose, there is a structure, there are the datas all said inside. This section contains the actual business data of transaction details purpose. When I say purpose here, so there is a separate element here called purpose. It's taking too much time for loading. Yeah, it is here. Can you see purpose of the message? I don't know why it never search it, but it is a purpose. What is the purpose of the message? Inside purpose, these are the things are as a child relationship of this one. So they when I say purpose, so inside purpose, what is the purpose is used for by end customer. This is the integrity part of it is part ultimate data and ultimate creditor to provide information concerning about the nature of the payment. Purpose is the content element which is not used for processing. So ultimate data, ultimate creditor, these are some more information field which are entered here that can be identified with the purpose here. We are going to see by the way these things when you are going to detail, but just for information mentioned here, that's why I showed you. Structure, message instance structure using XML tags where each tag represents a specified data element components of the messages. We already discussed many times now what is the any tag starting with this ending with this. So everywhere the structure of the message is like this here, tag starting with this and end with this. We have to end the tag with a colon here. In the bracket we have to put the message here. Okay, this is same fashion, this is same manner everywhere. This is when mentioned here the structure of the message. Then data. Okay, just now we have shown this is FI to FI customer trade transfer information. Like we have in block 4, we have all the data of a customer. Here also in FI to FI customer credit transformation, financial institution to financial institution customer credit transfer, it will contain the all basic data of the customer, payment information, credit credit transfer information, transfer transaction information. These are the fields which is having all the data of the customer here. So let me see if I can FI to FI payment credit transfer if it is there or not. Otherwise I will show different example. uh, yeah, it is here. Can you see this is credit to credit transfer information? This is the main block 4 of the messages of or MT103. Inside this is the tag of the message ISO pack 0080208. Okay, this is the main message. Inside that the payment information of this, and then credit transfer transaction information. The next line is first of all the payment information. These are the payment information, number of transaction, what is current, so payment transfer information. This one payment type is SEPA here for example. So such kind of information. Then data details. Okay, this is the starting of the data, this is the ending of the data. Inside that name of the data, then it is identity code like this in the structural manner. This is called parents and child relationship. Is parent is started with this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one till here. So this is a parent. Okay, this is the detailed format of when you are mapping, right? ISO 200 match message with empty messages. That time you have to give this mapping to the this mapping will help you to understand to map this data for example. So if empty one of the message, how can you map? You have to map like this. No, there is only two blocks are important. First one is the block application business application header, first block, and second is credit transfer information. These are only two important. These are within. This is payment. Yeah, payment information. FI to FI credit transfer information, and third one is the credit transfer transaction information. Three blocks inside that. Yeah, yeah. Just now I show you the first one here. Payment transfer. Okay, this first block here. Be, before that, this one block is here, which is customer to customer credit transformation, FI to FI. Okay, and then one is credit transfer information. Let me see. Yeah, it is here. Credit transfer information. Okay. Yes. Like this, I can. If I'm closing this is a parent block. These details are there in a header block, business application header, which is here. Payment information block contain payment method, number of transaction, control sum. Okay, then which payment type information. Then who is the data agent? Okay, it will not there. Yeah, on the below block here, third block here, here, here. Okay, like payment ID, instructed amount, instructed creditor agent means creditor agent, debtor agent. So those are present in your. Okay, there are total three blocks here. Okay, by the way, we are just going to basics only till we haven't started anything. So this is the third block here. Then next one is XML syntax. So this is ISO 20022 XML markable language. Okay. Then benefits of it, XML allows for flexibility representing. Okay, all of the basic we already are basics of the XML syntax format. Markable language can be allow representation in a granular manner, nice and clean and messages. Then tags, each and every payment like these tags are there clearly information, closing and opening brackets. We can identify this message. So there is no need to show anything more on external part. So this is your basic information about ISO 2022 information structure, advantage, disadvantage. Now what we'll do, we will try to see some one or two pages of this your basic about ISO 2022 program, which is a deep dive one. Okay, this is also awareness only. So if you see the history of the ISO 222 message, now we are reached to this message, but prior to that, even I was not aware when it is happened earlier cases. So payment and treasury measurement started in 1973, which is currently empty messages, which are there in 1973. Security messages started using ISO this format in 1984. Security only in ISO 15022, which is currently we are using. Okay, then richness is started now in ISO 2022. 2004 implementation started from 2004. The actual not implementation I can say, but actual concept they have implemented in 2004, and now they are implementing after 10 years. They are giving compulsion to do it. That. So paper based and Swift only, and compared to that, this is a natural Swift organization. I don't want to take these things. Basic information is taken from this ISO 220 organization standard website here. So what is ISO 222? Already we have discussed maintenance process, built-in stick, business certification, version, and all this stuff. Very thing. Uh, More than 20 organization. Okay, leave it this part also. So what is business areas we are going to cover? That's important. First of all, payment initiation, payment messages, then payments clearing and settlement, PAX message we are covering, and we are covering the last one is cash management messages, CAMT, which is equivalent to MT9 series. Okay, so those are the messages we are covering here in the corporate world here, ISO 20, which is corporate to bank, then your PAX message used in payments, and the last one is payment reporting messages. Okay, so this is the, and this is available on my standard of Swift guidelines. Um, these are the symbols when you are working with this ISO 20022 message in this textbook, these symbols can help us to identify what message we are going to see this when actually we saw this symbol. But I don't remember now if I show you these symbols. Okay, this is the revolution of payment, how it started, how it is going on now. So I don't want to walk you through all these things, but only I will walk you through the first one is here is that the real-time payment are quicker, consumer payment 24 by 7. This Swift GPI also we discussed yesterday. So global payment innovation, Swift GPI is driving unpredictable in unpredictable change, delivering fast, transparent and tracking payment, which we saw yesterday, Swift GPI project. This is come under ISO as well, and rest of the things regulatory one I don't aware of this. Payment is rapid transfer information is also fine. Okay, what is changing now? We'll see now what is changing in ISO 20022. First of all, field names. So yeah, this is one crucial thing now which I want to discuss with you. So whenever we are moving to ISO 20022, we have to forget the old naming convention. Forget in the sense we it's like British English, US English, and just Indian English. So it's like that. So we have to follow when we are using ISO 220, we have to follow in that format only. So in MT103 message, we always say, I'm looking into the first one now, message specification components. So when we are looking now the first MT103 messages, so in that we call 32A is a field, 52A as a field, 50A as a field, 57A, 70 is a field. But when you are moving to ISO 222, we no more called as a field, we call them as a element. So all of these things we call them as an element here. These are the elements. We are not calling them as a field. Okay, that's one of the thing which is changing from naming convention. All these are fields only. Then format as a data type. This is not being used in a precisely manner. Presence minimum maximum means the field length, right? Field validation range. It was called presence. This also we haven't observed here, but it is there. The next important part is not this also not important from code set point of view. Yeah, this is the parties in the message. This is important now. So we are no more calling as a bank anytime. We are calling them as an agent. So all the banks terminology is replaced in agent in ISO 222. So we no more call them as a bank as call agent. So ordering customers is called a debtor. Person who is initiating a payment is called a debtor. The beneficiary customer we are calling as a creditor. So that's thing. So when you switch your role from 15 to ISO 222, that time you have also switch your wordings. You always have to call debtor, ultimate debtor, creditor, ultimate creditor, creditors bank, creditors agent, debtor agent. So like this. These fields you have to interchangeably you have to use. Then the rules, these are called textual rules. Network validated rules called cross element complex. So these both fields are not widely used, but this bank agent, debtor, creditor, instructing agent and instructor agent. Now message senders means who is sending the message in your block 1 or block 2. Those are called as an instructing agent who are sending the payment in block 1. Okay. The message receiver who is receiving the payment in a bank, oh sorry, in the not bank, no call we call as a agent. This is called instructed agent. So only difference is TING at the end G, instructing and instructed. So that's why it's called INST and G. The short form is INSTG. The first three line is INST and the last word is G. So we call them as a instructing agent and instructed agent. Oh, why it is not copied? Yeah. Same thing I want to type also, it's not getting type. Okay, INSTG, it is called instruct. Those are the settlement methods actually what you are talking. Inga and Inga, those are the settlement methods. So this is just now Bhavya has correct. Bhavya told the same thing. So instructing agent short form is called INSTG. So INSTG only. INST, yeah, INST is ING. Yes, even Dipti, those are the settlement type is called in Fedwire, maybe in US. Those are called settlement methods in ISO 200 settlement method. Spelling or what? I mean, who is who instructing agent? He here instructing agent only. This is the full form. By the way, we are going to learn these things. All these payment methods are there. Yeah, yes, instructing agent method. And whenever it is instructed agent, it is INST in INDA, it's Inga and Inda. There is one more call. Yeah, cover, then CLRG. Those are the four settlement methods are there in ISO 222 message. But the settlement method in RTGS is not there. And only four are there. And anyway, it is not, CBPR is not capable of this handling this message. So this is removed. Only we are using three methods. Instructing agent, settle by the sender big, settle by the receiver big, and settle by the cover payment. That is the three settlement methods we are going to use when we are studying this ISO. No, for just one time purpose, Dipti, I just want to show you the short form. That's why I told you. Anyways, we are going to learn this in, I think, after fourth or fifth session or sixth session. That time we are going to learn this settlement methods. What are these methods? Bhavya, how do you know this background? Already learned this, or what exactly background you have about this? Oh, you already know these things. That's why. Okay, already work on it. No, it's okay. I thought you already reading somewhere. You already work on it, right? That's why I want to understand. Okay, fine, good. So those are the um, messages sender from and receiver from. This is the. By the way, this slide is only helpful for you. What you have to call them when you are using ISO 222. Okay, the yellow mark is called empty, and this green mark is called ISO 222. Okay. Um, I want to show this in detail. I already shown in one of the slides when you basically started, but I want to show you this slide later when I walk you through all the details of this. What are this? What are these fields? First of all, unless until you know this field completely, this mapping is no more meaning of this. Okay, so I want to show you this field later because I want to explain each mapping happen with which mapping. Okay, these things. So now I am going to compare. Now I will take only one or two slides today, okay, because we are ending today also. So whenever you want to compare any messages in MT103, that time prior to that, yeah, I want to start with the very basic thing first, then we go to later. The swift message is MX message is contain the same as your ISO 1502 message. A small to A Z, capital letter 0 to 9, and this message can be used for this character set. Special characters are additional allowed here. So these are the fields which are the special characters. These special characters can be allowed in your ISO 222 messages. Ampersand and percentage star equal to not equal to curly brackets, at the rate, opening and closing bracket, big bracket. Then additional special characters like dollar, less than, more than sign can be used for the in terms of email addresses can be used. Currency in the payment should be expressed in only three part. Okay, currency code is also allowed in a alphabetical 1, 2, and 3. I mean to say euro, GBP, INR in the same format here. So you cannot air more than 4 characters. I think same in Fedware also, right, Dipti? Same maybe in the Fedware also they are using. Then transactions for any special characters. These are the fields are allowed here. Okay, empty message will be represented by a dot. Okay, here the here in ISO 20022 we are going to use payment as a dot and not your comma, which we are using a comma as a payment here. So these are the basic about the character set of this ISO 20022 messages. Then how to read that message? If any message is there, how to read it? This message contain, for example, in such a detailed full form. How it is look like here. Okay. If this message is given like this, message reference guide FI to FI customer credit transfer version 12. So how it is given is like this in format. Fax message.